All right. So I think we're live. Yeah, we are live. Cool. So we're going to. Yep. All right. Cool. I just need to turn this off because I need to make sure that I'm able to respond to chat in a few different ways. So the first thing I want to do is say that we have tonight Late Night Levity, which is with Catholic Comedy Steve-O and Catholic Song Guy. We're going to be doing I believe, Wheel of Fortune style version of a game show. So please catch us tonight. Let's see if I can get something up to show that. Let's see, 1 second. Yeah, it's just it. If you're following me, it'll be somewhere on X or YouTube because I'll be streaming it at the same time. The other thing I wanted to bring up was for my channel. So the point of this video, so the future of the Catholic channel, which apparently I've totally screwed up with like the name. I'm gonna see if this actually, if I can in real time change that. Nope, can't do that. So basically, when it comes to the channel, there's a few things that I'm going to be going over. But before I go over them, I'm going to be going over topics that we're going to be covering. So the first topic we're going to be covering is sacred music. And so we're going to have my music director. He's going to come on. We're going to start talking about sacred music. I'm going to ask a lot of questions because there's a lot of questions that I have. But I wanted to bring this up now because we're going to be recording on Saturday. It's not going to be a live stream. It's going to be a recording. And then it'll come out the following week. If you have any questions for that recording that you want me to ask my music director, put them in the comments or in the chat, because then I'll take it to him and I will do that. So there seems to be checking my connection. Okay. Connection still okay. Seems weak, but it's still working. So if my connection's not working well, please throw it up in the chat if I'm skipping or something. Let me know. The other thing is, so if you have any questions, comments, or chat for sacred music. The next thing, just like I promised in the priest crisis video, I stated that we'll be going over. It is not a new haircut. All I did was comb it. I have a colic, so I'm utilizing the benefits of having a colic. But no, I haven't done a new haircut yet. So thanks for paying attention. But when it comes to the religious sisters, why there was such a drop from approximately 180,000 in 1980 or 1965 to about 30,000 today, which is a bigger drop than the priests dropping from approximately 60,000 to 32,000 or something today. So it's a pretty drastic thing, and it's a story I definitely want to. Yes, it does begin. It's a story I definitely want to talk about because at the end of the day, why we aren't seeing a lot of habits, religious sisters, consecrated virgins, is a pretty big deal. There's to miss that aspect of the faith, or at least it to diminish at the rate it did, is pretty significant. And it's just like with the priests. I'm going to be talking about it, and how I'm going to be talking about it is going to be not Saturday's recording, but Sunday's recording. I'm going to be recording with our DRE, religious education director. I said that backwards, but she is also a consecrated virgin, and so she's one of the few consecrated virgins in the Archdiocese of Detroit, and she used to be a religious sister, and so we're going to be doing two videos. One video is going to be about her journey from, how she discerned the priesthood. Or I'm sorry, not the priesthood. Oh my gosh, no, just, not the priesthood. Oh, no one. All right. No one can hear. Okay. Massachusetts, can you hear me? Can Catholic trad, can you hear me now? My wife, can you can you okay, cool. So okay, cool. All right. All right. Thank you. So all right. Thank you. Sorry, someone had mentioned that they couldn't hear me. So I just wanted to make sure, and it seemed like it was on X. Okay, cool. Now chat's coming in through X. That's great. That doesn't happen often. So thank you, Catholic Trad. Okay, so the questions that are, if you want to ask her, there's two different types of questions. There's one with her journey in discerning her vocation, because consecrated virgins are a vocation, um, just like religious sisters, or similar to religious sisters, although she was a religious sister herself. So if you want to, but I'm not going to go into all of like what happened, because it's a pretty interesting story, and I'm not going to undermine it by giving you a summary here. So I'm going to let her speak to that on Sunday, and not spoil anything else. But if you have questions for her on that aspect, please do uh, put them in the comments or the chat. The second is, we're going to be talking about the history of religious sisters in general, and why the decline happened so significantly. Sorry, I'm reading chat. Uh, why the decline happened so significantly, because we, as the church, lost a significant portion of our religious sisters, and I'm really big in the vocation area. Like, I'm trying to promote vocations in a variety of ways, not just through my YouTube and to my daughters and sons, but also to through my parish, because I am setting up I'm doing a seminar that'll cover. I haven't picked out how many weeks it's going to cover, or how many visits really, because I don't think it's going to be weekly, but it's going to be bi-weekly, where we expose those that have been confirmed to um, those that are currently living out their vocations, and how they discerned and how they came to be, so that they're prepared prior to college, what God is calling them to be or to do, because it's given, there's so many restrictions on orders in seminaries, that you shouldn't have your debt when you apply. It limits the pool substantially, and so now there's some caveats there. There's some like grants that are given, and there's some programs that deal with that, but by and large, it's still a real big issue. And so vocations prior to college is, discerning your vocation prior to college is, I think, really important, and so that's why I'm really into going into this avenue of research with our DRE. So oh, well, okay, you got to stop spoiling it. Okay, I'm not going to put that up there, but someone in chat's spoiling stuff. So if you have any questions, please put it down in the comment section for her. So there's three topics. There's sacred music, there's the history and decline of religious sisters, and then asking a consecrated virgin how she came to that point. So those are three different videos, three different topics. I have not recorded those yet. I can take your questions to these people, so that we can get answers that are fleshed out from you guys, not just me. Because especially since I've been live streaming, I'm noticing that there are a lot of different questions that don't come to my mind. I'm not perfect in terms of like brainstorming, but a lot of people have a lot of questions, and I think it's only fair to try and bring out what we can as possible. And so that's why I'm asking you to put your questions down, because it is important to the community. It's important to the church to understand this. Okay, so should a woman be a DRE? So that is like a whole bunch of she's a consecrated virgin, so it's like there are certain things that apply in different ways. And so, but I'm not going to go and answer that question directly, um, although that's really funny. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah. So like, if you guys want me to, I can put accompanying videos of the vocation seminars, but I want to make sure it's okay with everybody that I'm talking to, that will be doing these presentations, because it's really for the parish. It's not for me. And so I could do like kind of like a mini video where I talk to them if they're willing, but it's not going to be a requirement. And I don't want to make any promises, because this is for the church and our family of parishes. And I don't want to, even though I promote our parish quite a bit here, and explain what we do, this is not the parish channel. And I do not want to compel any of them to do that for this. I'd rather just leave it to where it's something that the church does. And from my understanding, Father Eric has a channel that he's starting up, and I'll see if he wants something like that there, and I'll just direct everyone to those videos. So, okay, yeah. So, all right, I'm just putting that up because the question was asked, and then we're going to go on to the next thing. So, if any of you have a question in chat, I'll put them down in the comments. I'll put them down. The last thing I wanted to bring up was with the channel itself. So, my wife got on me about this. I just need to find it now. Okay, so we ended up starting memberships with the channel, and so I don't have. Oh, whoops! I am looking at the wrong thing. All right, I don't have a locals, because right now I don't have the time to establish a locals and do all this. Whereas like in YouTube, I'm able to do something similar to a locals, where I've set up memberships. And it's just to, if you want to be more involved with the channel, like you can, and this is how you can do it. And I was trying, to play with the names: Frugal Papist, Medieval Papist, and Jovial Papist, because at the end of the day, like we're striving towards joy in God. So that's why that's at the top. But it's just, in order for me to do that, though, I need to justify it to my wife why I'm doing these videos instead of like cleaning the house. And so there is a benefit, there's a cost to that. And so having doing more videos on the side besides what I'm already doing. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Like, I am happy you guys are here in the chat and just watching in general. I'm glad a lot of my videos are just going out there. This is obviously all voluntary. I'm not trying to compel you to do it. I'm just letting you know it's there. And, it would help us on our end. But like, I'm not going to say anything more than that. So, but at the end of the day, thank you for watching and, following up with me and asking questions and leaving your comments and going back and forth, and in some cases debating, in good spirits. So I always like to do that. But this is a recent development in which is, YouTube allowed it to happen, in the sense that, I actually applied and then they passed it. Like, it was really weird. I wasn't expecting, I was, especially since I have a video where it says what happens when trans people become ordained or attempt to get ordained. Like, I have entire videos dedicated to the month that it's currently in. And, I was just surprised that they're like, yeah, you're monetized. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know how that happened, but I don't know if YouTube's like relaxing a bit on things or not. So, but just wanted to throw it out there that this was available, and if you wanted to start doing these with me, that'd be fun. So, and if you do it, preemptively, thank you. So let's see. Well, okay, I'm not gonna go necessarily into that. But um, they probably watch you more closely after you get paid though. So like that's probably true. Like that's why I don't like my Learn the Stats channel, which is my statistics channel. I do videos on statistics, and that's been monetized for a while. It doesn't give a whole lot of money because it's not like a blown up channel, but it's like it's a I'm very careful with what I put there. So like incredibly careful with what I put there, as opposed to what's on here, because I kind of treat this as, well, I'm probably not going to get paid. And so I'm just going to say whatever, the church teaches and not feel ashamed for it, because this isn't like I have a job. Like, it's also one of the reasons why I don't put my entire name out, because if I put my entire name out, I might get doxxed by people who get mad at me for stating what the church teaches. And which I don't know if you've been following me on Twitter. I've definitely had conversations that have gone pretty intense. And yeah, I'm going to not reveal my name fully because I can't, like, I have 5 kids and a wife, and yeah, I'm not going to risk that. Littlest man insane. Oh, okay. Okay, hi. Okay. So that was all I had. I mean, if you guys wanted to talk about something else, we can just throw up a chat really quick. I didn't expect to go through that fast, everything that I wanted to go through. I was expecting more of a back and forth and some derailment, and it apparently isn't as derailed as I thought it would be. So so I did ask a poll though. So let's see how many people have. Oh, there's only been 7 votes. So if you haven't voted in the poll, vote in the poll. But as of right now, there's not a lot of people who talk to your music director. And so my question is why? And that's because, like, music directors, like, they play an important part, right? Like, they're the accompaniment, especially in the Novus Ordo, they're the accompaniment for what's going on seemingly all the time. And they typically do, like, on Corpus Christi, the sequence or some additions like that are occasionally in the mass. Now for like the TLM, they're typically the ones doing the chants or making sure, doing the organ when appropriate, or whatever your setup is. Because, like, depending on what TLM you have, I mean, there's still some variation in things. So getting to know his perspective, I think, is really good in helping us understand the music that we listen to or participate with in the mass. And so I'm very big at talking to them. Like, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to become best friends with them. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just something where it's, even if it, at the end of the day, you're just thanking them personally, like, they're providing a service for the mass. And even though, yes, technically they're being paid, they're still part of the celebration where heaven meets earth, and they're playing a pretty important part of it. And so that is, more, I think, in my opinion, more than enough reason to go and talk to them if you haven't talked to them. So let's see. I don't talk to him because kids. Yep, that's a thing too. If you have a lot of kids, you can, I mean, even if you have like one kid that just likes to run, it can be really hard to have a conversation after mass, which I guess, like, that's another thing. I wish can I put another thing up there? Let's see. End the poll. I'm going to put up another poll. I wish I could do this on. 1 second, buddy. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. Sorry. My son wanted to give me something he made, and I'll be looking at it right after this. So I wish I could set up a poll on X, but on YouTube, I'm going to write. I just lost it. Wow, I just lost that. Sorry, my son totally like derailed this, and he's not even part of the stream. So, and that's okay because that's whatever. The door's open. It's lunchtime here, so um, we typically hang out during lunch. But because obviously this is Thursday, this is actually their first day off school, so this is like throwing everybody off. Um, but let's see. It'd be great to see you on Avoiding Babylon again. Oh, well, I mean, like, ultimately, like, that would be see, they were technically, they were on mine, and then I just gave them the footage, and they put it up, but, yeah, that's, I think it's very interesting because at the end of the day, it's a promotion of the lady, right? Like, there's Anthony's a construction worker, I believe, uh, Rob's an accountant, and so, like, I'm a statistician, so, like, we all do, like, regular, work, like, we do work, and it ranges from like different tiers in people's mind, like blue collar to white collar and all this other stuff. And so, like, the more we promote people who are in those lives, because, like I said, what is it? I think there was one conversation we had where it was just like a theologian isn't necessarily going to be able to relate to you in a way that people like a construction worker may relate to people in a different way in different professions that are similar, that a theologian isn't going to be able to do it. And that's not to say the theologian is just spouting hot air. That's not what I'm saying. It's that it's the relatabilityness. It's like the same thing with like saints, right? Like, it's you don't always go to the Mother of God. Sometimes you'll say Saint Thomas More if you're a lawyer, um, or or Saint Lucy with the eyes. Like, if you're a someone, I forget what you call it, but a doctor that does does the a doctor for the eyes. I can't remember the name of it, but it's relatability and being able to help those understand the faith through your witness and your explanations from your perspective, while at the same time not biting off more than you can chew. So, but I would love to do it because I think Rob just had an experience where his NO parish that he goes to um, started putting a kneeler down. So like that, and like I discussed in the previous, I think, two videos, two live streams, that's like the first step, in getting in a lot of ways to getting a more reverent styled NO. And the reason why I say styled is because there's, oh my gosh, it's like the most annoying thing. Like, there's so many options that are allowed, and that I'm really curious that after certain people leave their leadership positions across the hierarchy, not just in one position, but across the hierarchy, that if we're going to have a reform um, with what's going on in the NO, just because so much of it is like people are pointing, like priests are pointing out the problems, and some bishops are pointing out the problems, and they're becoming more boisterous, and so that's a really good thing. Whether or not that goes all the way back to, we're just going to go back to the TLM, I obviously can't say, but at least that's becoming more prominent. So so that is a giant tangent from that very simple question or statement. But yeah, yeah, we may not. I have nothing against being on them. It's just a matter of our schedules. So okay. Okay. So I guess if there's nothing else going on, okay. So I guess that's it. For all of you at home, or I don't know why I said that, but thank you for joining me and being interested in the channel and what's going on. I know that the title's wrong. I'll be fixing that right after this. But yeah, thank you. And again, if you have questions about sacred music, which would be music in the Mass, the religious sister decline, or or how a consecrated virgin comes to be so, or how she discern that vocation, please leave it in the comments section. Those are the next 3 videos I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing them over this weekend. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.